Lords of Chaos, based on the truth, lies, and what happened in the story of Mayhems. It's a fictionalized account of the true story of Mayhem, black metal, famous for the fact that their lead singer, who was called Dead, committed suicide, and then the guitarist and other members, so Euronymous and Varg, became locked in this kind of deadly battle, and they ended up going to prison and arson and worse. And so Rory Culkin is the wannabe who kind of invents black metal and is a pro-Satanist, we hate everyone form of music. He says, I want people to listen to our music and then want to kill themselves. And he's the leader of the band, but he's got his own record label and his own record shop because his daddy bought it for him. And there is a scene in it early on which is very, very high fidelity about, we've got all the good stuff, but only for those people who know how to find it. And then he meets this guy, Christian, I'm not called Christian, I'm called Varg, who is desperate to be part of the band. They tolerate him, and then they hear his music and they think he's great, and then he kind of gets locked into this power struggle with Euronymous. And then things start happening like church arsons and assaults and worse. And he's like Dim in Clockwork Orange, that whatever ideas are put into his head, he seems to act out. At one point he says, I'm ramping it up to the next level. And he's told the next level is jail. And the film is peculiar because the true story is both horrible and pathetic. On the one hand, it is a story about kind of, masculinity in crisis, toxic masculinity, about people becoming obsessed with really stupid ideas about Satanism, about Nazism, about the occult, in that way that those kind of creepy latter-day Mansonites talk about all that stuff, and they're all just idiot children. And it's about the way that they are dangerous to themselves, and that then becomes dangerous to others, because they're living this kind of this existence that they've dreamed up of. There's one brilliant sequence in which Varg is interviewed by the newspapers, and one of the journalists said afterwards, I've never met anyone so stupid in my life. And it starts out as a black comedy, which is actually quite funny, and it ends up as a very sort of depressing account of this worldview, this kind of angsty worldview that is full of all these absolutely poisonous ideas, but also these pathetic ideas. And I think, oddly enough, it treads a quite interesting balance between black comedy and something that is much grimmer. And it's odd. It's not entirely successful, but there are moments in it that work, and it is grim, and it is also. There are moments in it, the screening room that I saw it in, the guy who runs the screening room said the last time we screened this room, somebody was sick.
Okay, good. Well, let's not go with that one then.